During the 21st century, there were many life-altering and detrimental events that happened in America, but the character of the American citizen truly showed as they stood for freedom and liberty.
The Atlantis space shuttle launched on April 12, 1981. It was the first shuttle to launch with an interplanetary probe. It orbited the Earth over 4,848 times on its long journeys. It was the only spacecraft to not be able to refuel at the space station in outer space. The day it landed, it gave Americans a huge sense of pride. After 30 years of hard work, the shuttle was back home. It served for one of the longest space missions ever. Thousands gathered to see the last returning to Earth with space shuttle. This gave Americans a huge sense of pride. No other country had done this before, sent the space shuttle out for over 30 years. This was a huge milestone for Americans as a nation. The next space shuttle mission wouldn't be for another 3 to 4 years. Hurricane Sandy was a Category 3 storm that devastated the northeast coast of America in late October 2012. It destroyed many homes and left millions without power. This made America aware of their poor preparation and exposed some weaknesses in companies. For example, LIPA was replaced with PSCG because of its inability to respond quickly and restore power for millions. Supplies began to run out as the storm devastated us, so we began rationing fuel. Everyone had to cooperate to do this successfully. The whole nation worked to supply water, and everyone came together, and it was one of the proudest moments in American history. The people supplying water and rebuilding, cleaning up. This affected America and everyone. During this devastating time, everyone had to come together to help out each other, restore power, etc. This is the basis of American unity and what America is all about. Going forward, not only New Yorkers, but Americans as a whole will be more prepared for these climate changes, climate storms, and be better prepared to get through these storms.
The September 11th attacks on the United States of America were very devastating for many Americans. About 3,000 Americans had died and many more were injured. America was greatly impacted and changed many policies as a result, such as more strict policy in airports to make sure that people aren't armed when they get on airports to prevent future terrorist attacks, if any occurred. Also, America, alongside many other nations, declared a war on terror by invading Afghanistan and searching for members in the Taliban or the suspected group known as Al-Qaeda. So as a result, Americans tightened their security in airports, alongside many other public places where another attack like this could be prevented. Also, the American government refused to negotiate with terrorists regarding in any manner, just so terrorists don't get what they want. Lastly, although this attack did devastate many Americans, Americans came all together just to help out the affected Americans and didn't get scared because that would give the terrorists what they wanted. And we did not want to do that as a nation. Also, to face any other terrorist attacks in America, we came together and showed the terrorists that this will not be the last of us and we will not be devastated by this attack. Bombings occurred in April of 2013, devastating many Americans during the Boston Marathon. The Boston Marathon is an annual event held in April during Patriot Day and has been held for the past 117 years. Although the death toll was not too high in these bombings, they still devastated many Americans. This competition is held annually for the past 117 years, so there's a lot of sentimental value about people whose ancestors ran in this marathon. So even though it's been 12 years since the War on Terror has been declared, it still continues, as shown in the Boston bombing. Because of this War on Terror, Americans still have to deal with the danger of terror attacks every single day of their lives. As a result of this War on Terror, some Americans may currently feel that there should be more limitations placed on the amount of foreigners coming into the United States and going out. This develops a sense of nationalism and nativism to keep Americans close.
Hurricane Katrina was the deadliest storm of 2005 and one of the most deadliest storms of all time. Hurricane Katrina was the sixth strongest hurricane in the United States history. Katrina killed 1,833 people, also leaving homes, buildings, cars, and lives destroyed. Although the damage was in New Orleans, people all around the United States felt the aftermath of Katrina. Many Americans throughout the country came together to help the people of New Orleans and many victims across the Gulf of Mexico. This showed that no storm was stronger than us. Throughout the country came together to help the people of New Orleans. This showed that no event can bring us down. When is in need, Americans are always there to help. The U.S. government put out programs to help relieve the people of New Orleans. This showed that now, in the future, all Americans will be prepared for any storm. Tech massacre took place on April 16, 2007, and was one of the most deadliest attacks in U.S. history. Soon-Hee Cho, a senior at Virginia Tech University, had shot and killed 32 people and wounding 17 others. Cho had later committed suicide. This left a big question mark on the U.S. policy of gun control. This was one of the most deadliest attacks in U.S. history. Many Americans came together and felt the pain that all the victims had gone through, that one person can take the lives of 32 people on such a traumatic day. Such a tragic event, this brought many Americans together, and this shows that no other country is stronger than the United States and the people that live here. The government is trying very hard to change the gun laws in the United States to try and stop traumatic events like this from happening. Many Americans want a gun-free environment to prevent tragic events like this from happening.
After Barack Obama became President of the United States of America, he made it one of his biggest priorities to take down one of the world's most wanted men, Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was responsible for the 9/11 attacks on the United States in New York City, which killed on around about 3,000 people. The devastation was felt all around America. People mourned for such a long period of time. President Obama and some of his high-ranking officials designed a plan to find out where Osama bin Laden was located and kill him. There came in information on where he was located, and one of the locations was called Abbottabad, which is located in Pakistan. With the help of the U.S. Naval Team, U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6, they were able to operate and kill Osama bin Laden. After news reached states that Osama bin Laden had been killed, people were so joyful in the streets of America. People gathered in front of the White House and City Hall in New York, and all places around America just to gather. And the flag was raised, and people were just happy that such an evil person, such an evil man, was killed because he was responsible for the morning 13 years ago on 9/11, for the 9/11 attacks, and for those 3,000 innocent lives that were killed. President Obama made it a huge goal of his to take down Osama bin Laden and help end the war on terror. December 14, 2012, Adam Lanza fatally shot and killed 20 innocent young children and 6 staff members. After news broke out of what had happened at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut, the whole country was in a state of shock at the events that had just happened, that a normal human being could kill 20 innocent children and 6 adults. But the main question mark that was left behind was, should America do something about gun control? I mean, events like this had happened countless times in the past, but this one really was an eye popper. It was paper popper basically, because for 20 innocent children to die for no reason, and it was really shocking. But after the aftermath, you know, people came together. It just showed the unity of America and our spirit, that nothing, no matter what, could deter the American spirit. And the flags were raised, the bell was rung 26 times for all the innocent people that were killed. And on news stations, they had ceremonies to commemorate them. And everything that had happened, it just shows that no matter how bad of an event that could happen, it wasn't strong enough to deter the American spirit, and that just shows how strong us as American people are. And it's gonna take a whole lot to break us down, if that. And it's still, you know, I mean, what had happened is it's really sad, because those innocent children had nothing to do. They were just bystanders, you know. They were victims of something gone wrong, and it just shows really that American people as a whole, you know, they're unified people.